two ways he can do this. He can look at it as my standard game, because he is ahead. He can look at it as my standard game is better than his. Therefore, if I play two standard games back to back, I should win one of those. There's also the way to look at it is I'm up 2-1. I have one game to take a risk. If that risk works, I win outright. If it doesn't, I can fall back on my standard game.
It's true.
So, if I were in Scvrush's position, just because this is the kind of player I am, I 11-11, 2 racks pressure, the very early 2 racks, and then expand to the gold. Because even if you lose, you have another game to fall back on. Now, I don't think Scvrush will do that. I think he'll just play standard, because I think, he would be thinking, if I play standard 2 games in a row and I still lose, that's going to be a rare occurrence.
Oh crap, I don't have my language filter on, so oh well.
Whatever.
But I guess a little introduction for this map, since I'm guessing most people aren't that familiar with it. This is actually a GSL map that was introduced, I want to say, in the 2nd season of the GSTL.
I think it was the May Team League. Pretty sure it was May.
Is that the second one? I'm not sure. But yeah.
Wait,
so
no. This was GSTL March.
Yeah, that was the second one, right?
The one game that I remember vividly from that is Bomber versus MVP versus MMA on this map. Ace match of the finals.
Ace match for the championship. But yeah, so I mean, the architecture of this map was inspired by IC Cup Test Bug. If any of you have played that map, so. And then, I mean, outside of that, unfortunately, I don't really know too much about this map or how it's really played out, because even in the GSL, it doesn't really come up too often. And when it does come up, I want to say a lot of people try to sneak a gold base. If you see here and here, there's a gold base at the top left and the bottom right. And I want to say both, usually in the games I've seen, one player always tries to get a sneaky gold base going.
Yeah, the main reasons are, one, it's so far away from your other bases that it's kind of hard to scout. And because of that, being that it's hard to scout and therefore hard to pressure, most of the time, especially as Terran, you've dropped enough mules on that gold base, you've practically mined it out anyway by the time they can do anything about it. But this map, generally speaking, I don't think Zergs like this map, actually. I mean, it's definitely not like Steps of War, but I'm pretty sure this is one of the maps that Zergs still, if they can avoid it, they do. I'm not sure how exactly that's going to play out in this matchup, but we'll see.
I don't want to say that's necessarily true, because even though it's a 2-player map, the rush distance is still relatively far, and I guess another feature that's kind of good for Zerg is there's a lot of different entrances and avenues, so it's really good for flanking.
Yeah, I think what Zerg don't like about it is the fact that there's only 4 total expansions for each player. If the Terran expands aggressively, they're expanding towards your main.
That's true. And
then you have to expand away from your main, meaning your defense gets thinner as their aggression can get stronger, and this is half the number of bases that are on, say, Shakuras or Tal'Darim. So looks like we are seeing a Reactor Hellion, a second barracks going down before the command center. Not sure what those are for. Flamga says Tasselk about the destructivatable watchtowers. I don't think this is the map with the destructible watchtower. Isn't that Zelnaga Fortress?
That's Zelnaga Fortress, yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, see, I'm pretty sure that's Zelnaga Fortress that has the...
Yeah, this is a map with the cool, warp gate watchtowers.
He says this one you can destroy them. Maybe you can just, A-click them? Destroy
I don't know. I'm actually not sure. But we have 2 Hellions going into Onemanzerg's base right now.
I'm not sure why he went with 2. I would have waited for 4, but he is gonna, chase out these Hellions without much damage. He did make the drones leave mining, so that's not too bad. Onemanzerg is already floating a lot of minerals, actually. There's a tech lab already up for Scvrush, so he could start STEM here pretty soon.
I
There's
think
now
that's
3
the reason
barracks
he got that
and a reactor
extra.
factory.
Oh, looks like he's gonna do some kind of timing then. Probably with.
I hope he keeps making Hellions. Make Hellions to like 12. Go to 12 Hellions, then I'm happy.
And I mean, he's definitely in Onemanzerg's head, because Onemanzerg already has an evolution chamber and already made, I want to say, 2 spore crawlers, 1 at each mineral line. So
Oh,
he's
did he?
really weary of that Banshee harass right now.
Yeah, he did. He already has put that much money into it. I mean, I want to see Scvrush just go, oh, there, 2 more factories going down. Okay, the next factory, I mean, I'm sure these 2 are going to have tech labs and he's going to want to go into tanks, but he needs to get Blue Flame and then just get a lot of Hellions, because, I mean, as you saw in the last game, Onemanzerg does not play well with Hellions. Hellions are the bane of his existence.
Yeah, I'm surprised he hasn't opened with like 2 or 3 roaches every game, just to kind of be more safe versus a Hellion.
Yeah, gonna get quite a few drone kills there. Looks like he got 3, at basically the cost of 1 Hellion. That's not a bad trade.
Looks like he got 4, actually.
Did he get 4?
Unless he killed a worker previously, which I don't think he did.
He may have the first time he sent in Hellions. Looks like the Roach Warren is going down now. That Roach Warren actually could be a good thing for Scvrush. If he, as you can see here, he's got 3 tech labs going up on these factories. If he just starts making tanks are very good against roaches. So, he got these Hellions out. He's forcing a lot of, like, spine crawler. Well, I guess he's only forced 2 spine crawlers so far, but he's forcing roaches. He's killed some drones. Now if he just goes into tanks, then he'll have a pretty good shot at taking this game. He's also already taking his 3rd, which is actually a pretty early 3rd for Terran, before Onemanzerg is taking his.
Definitely.
I think he's really relying on the fact that these Hellions have put Onemanzerg in a defensive mode, and he's going to go into 2 or 3 factory siege tank production, so he's going to be able to play very defensively, and, he's just going to try to get really ahead.
Yeah, I don't like how Onemanzerg actually went ahead and threw down a Roach Warren when he already had his Spire building at the same time, because I feel like if you're going to try to defend a Hellion harass, like, pick a way to defend against it and just go with it, whether that be making a ton of speedlings and trying to just, properly control your speedlings and make sure the Hellions can't really do as much damage as your opponent would like.
The center is going to have to be canceled down here. Speedlings came over, there was nothing there to help defend. And see, if he had just gotten Blue Flame Hellions, he could have moved just 2, maybe 3 Hellions over there, and that base would have been completely safe from that lane run by.
And it looks like Scvrush did sneak in his Hellions back in and get a few more kills. And now we have this flock of mutas. Is that 9 mutas coming over to the right side of the map?
There's 1 Marine down here attacking the 3rd base of Onemanzerg, just kind of chipping away at it. The good news is that Marine did scout the base, so he knows about it. We got 2 turrets going down in the mineral line, but they're a little late. These mutas are going to have an opportunity to get in here, but they're hanging out on the outskirts. They may not make it in
Wow,
in
this
time.
turret
They've got to
is
go
going
now.
to finish.
They've got
oh my god,
the
they
turrets
finished
are going to
just,
pop up just in time.
Not that second one
One
just
of the
yet.
turrets didn't finish. Actually.
Oh, there we go. Yeah, both turrets are
There we
now
go.
up. And actually, the standing army right now for both players is 20 Zerglings and 9 Mutalisks for Onemanzerg, and 5 siege tanks for Scvrush. So I don't think these Zerglings are really going to do much except blow up.
No,
Oh, actually, they're not siege, but
Yeah, they shouldn't do much though. Now there's finally Blue Flame is starting. He needs to just, if he's gonna go mech, I would get 2 factories that are just making siege tanks, no matter what. And then he needs 1 or 2 more factories with tech labs that can either make Hellions or siege tanks, depending on what you need. And then you need a reactor factory that's just constantly making Hellions. We have a drop of, well, I don't think it was a drop. I think it was just a run-by of Hellions out here in the 3rd, killing quite a few drones.
Actually killing all of the drones at that expansion. Oh, never mind.
One survives.
One
and then
lone
another pops
drone
out.
survives to tell the story.
Yeah, he's going to get to tell his war stories to his buddy drone that just popped out. And, you know, Scvrush, even though he started taking that 3rd early, he just now actually got a 3rd up because of the, you know, the speedling run by and stuff.
But, I mean, I don't think that's too crucial because he was in a position where he didn't really need that 3rd base. It was just kind of, hey, I have the minerals, why not get it? And it looks like Blue Flame has just finished researching.
And this is a decent siege tank position. If he moves up just a little more, actually he might, yeah, he's in range of the hatchery anyway, just barely. But I like to see him scan, try to push back a little bit of this creep, and then just leave. You know, he doesn't need to pressure this any farther. He might try to anyway, and you know,
I think he's going to back off now once he scanned the army composition, and that is what he is doing. Playing safe, playing smart. As
Now,
Artosis would say, when you're ahead, get more ahead.
Now, is Onemanzerg, you think he looks like he's going to go for this counterattack? I mean, if he can take down the planetary, that's, you know, it's going to end up paying off.
I really don't like this.
If he doesn't get the planetary, then
yeah, he's sacrificing way too many units for this right now.
He's losing way too many units. He's going to get the planetary, but he lost so many of those roaches, and I think he lost 1 or 2 mutas too to that Thor volley. He really needs to run with those mutas. Why are those mutas still standing there?
Oh,
he's going to lose them all. That was not a good trade.
This is heartbreaking.
Not a good trade
to watch
at all.
as a Zerg player.
Oh. So that puts Scvrush actually still in a pretty good position, even though he lost his 3rd. You know, with a good tank position here, he's going to be able to, you know, at least cut off this 3rd, if not kill the natural. Tanks are really good against roaches, especially in higher numbers. You know, just 1 or 2 tanks, roaches can bust them. But I mean, when you've got, you know, what is this, like 7 siege tanks
right there.
Yeah, that's going to be very hard to break.
It looks like Onemanzerg is once again going for a counter. I guess he's trying to do enough damage to force Scvrush back, but I mean, with the units he'll have coming out, I believe he should be able to effectively defend his natural and his main.
He's making Thors and a wave of bio right now, meaning he's not going to have any tanks out.
Oh, wow.
So these roaches can do quite a bit of damage. I'm not sure why he did that. You know, he's clearly having success with his mech style. I'm not sure why he would, you know, try to make Marines and a Thor. He should have just kept making
I like the choice of the Thor, because the Thor is pretty good at tanking roach hits and does a good amount of damage to them. But, I mean, yeah, I think that was just kind of like an error of judgment, because, I mean, when you're playing against a Zerg player, if you're ahead, the one thing you always kind of have to have in the back of your mind... Actually, why am I telling you guys this? I don't want to lose, but you want to be counterproof, because Zerg, if they can't engage your army, they're going to do whatever they can to try to force you to come back or, like, withdraw troops so that they can, like... They're just trying to buy time, because they can't take your army at that point.
Now, something quite interesting, Scvrush has only 32 SCVs. He's lost a lot of SCVs, and he's not doing the best job of keeping up production on them, because he doesn't have a lot of money. If he's making
huge fungal growth.
Fungal. If he gets another fungal off, all those Marines are dead.
I just realized Scvrush doesn't have any medevacs either.
Yeah, I would just go home. Oh, he stims those Marines. Literally anything. just about, would kill those Marines.
Go for
right
the
now.
infestation pit.
Yeah, he needs to kill that infestation pit. I mean, he's going to get some overlords, that's cool and all, but and his mech being left, helpless over
going
here
for a
as the
spawning
roaches
pool. I
move
don't
up.
understand.
And even, look at the broodlings just tearing through those Marines, those fungal Marines. They were almost dead from the fungal, then a stim.
Oh, but this blue flame Hellion could do a good amount of damage. Oh, never mind.
Now, a single blue flame Hellion, you need 2 blue flame Hellions, then they'll one-shot the drones, and then you get some big damage. Now, he really needs to get more siege tanks. He needs to stock up those siege tanks. 2, 3 siege tanks doesn't do much against that big of a wave of roaches. But once you've got 6, 7, even up into the double-digit siege tanks, that's when you can really start stomping roaches. And, I mean, what do you expect Onemanzerg to make right now? You just killed a spawning pool, so you know he's going to be making roaches.
Yeah. And, I mean, another reason I would have really liked to have seen him go for that infestation pit was because he saw that it was researching something, which is most likely neuroparasite, which is really going to help Onemanzerg combat these mech troops with the lack of, I guess...
Now, he did just take down that gold base, and it looks like he might try to push this base over here, and there's nothing over here to defend it right now. He may just be able to snipe the hatchery before anything gets over here, and he is going to siege up. I don't know if I agree with that. I honestly think he should have just came in, sniped it, left, instead of trying to actually fortify this position. But, I mean, it looks like it won't matter anyway. Onemanzerg is not going to attack into it. This creates a weird situation where, economy-wise, Onemanzerg is still in the lead, but not by as much as he was just a few seconds ago. And, that can make a huge difference.
And it looks like he's now trying to get that other hidden gold base in the bottom right-hand corner of the base. Or, of the map, sorry.
Now, with this Infestor Roach composition, he's doing fairly well in the straight-up fights, but it has no form of map control that, most Zerg builds have. It has no mutas. It has no, it has no speedlings really. It doesn't have anything that gives him control over the map to where he could easily defend drops and stuff at this gold base. Attacking into a fortified position here. We've got 2 bunkers, some tanks, and a planetary. I would just stay away from that.
And he does pull back, which is definitely the right choice.
Yeah, that is definitely a smart idea. You would lose so much attacking into that. It is not worth it. That attack right there is probably never worth it, to be honest.
Unless you're maxed and sitting on 4,000 in the bank.
Even then, I would much rather attack into the natural, where it's just an orbital and 3 tanks.
Oh wow, he's taking a lot of tank volleys.
I see. I don't know about this decision. He's gonna lose a lot here, and I don't know what he's actually aiming to kill. This base is almost mined out anyway, so it's not
and
like
we have
he's
a
gonna
small
snipe
little
them.
strike force in the bottom, killing a lot of drones. Extractor going down.
There's, quite a bit of stuff is dying here. Scvrush is starting to get himself in a little bit of a lead. However,
there go the neuroparasites.
Looks like they're going to, basically kill their friends and then get killed without fighting back. This game is still pretty close, but the big problem is Scvrush has this base with a planetary and, really good defense setup. Onemanzerg does not have, just a good solid base right now. His third still has quite a few minerals, but he doesn't have static defense there. He can't afford to put static defense there. He doesn't have the most mobile army in the world, so it's not like he can defend everywhere at once. But Scvrush doesn't need a mobile army. He's got a planetary fortress. He's got siege tanks over here. His army can take some time to get over there, and he'll still be fine. Looks like we have...
Oh, go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
Oh, why thank you. Well, it looks like Scvrush is adding in ghosts again to try to counter this infestor play by Onemanzerg, which I think is always a good choice, and I like it. How do you feel about that, Medeiros?
I would say more siege tanks, because siege tanks are pretty good against infestors, because they have the longer range and they can kind of force them away, and they're also really good against roaches. Ghost is not so good against roaches. I mean, snipe is good, but only in small numbers.
I want to say, at this point, he's getting the EMP mainly to just drain infestor energy so they can't Neuroparasite and steal his Thors.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, Neuroparasite is a pretty expensive spell.
I think it's 100, isn't it?
I believe so, yes.
What Flamga says 150. We were talking energy Flamga, by the way. No, it's 100. Okay.
Yeah, it's 100. I just clicked.
Okay. Flamga might have been thinking cost, as in minerals Vespine, because it's probably a 150 upgrade.
Yeah, but why is it so expensive again? Exactly. Why, Blizzard? Why?
Well, because you see what it does to an army. I mean, you take a couple Thors or a couple Colossi, then it changes the battle a lot.
Yeah, but I mean, in most situations, it's really hard to grab those units. I mean, it worked out in that battle because Onemanzerg had such a small standing army, whereas and I guess I don't want to
drop over
call
here
it this.
killing a hatchery. Over on the left, we got a drop that is. Ooh, it might not actually get the hatchery. It doesn't look like it will. If it had gotten the hatchery, that would have been a really good move. Scvrush is actually looking really good right now. He's got another base up with some defense there. He really just has to turtle up and hold out because Onemanzerg, like I was talking about earlier, just with the number of bases on this map, Onemanzerg is mining them out. Scvrush is mining them out. But when it comes down to it, when there's only so many minerals left on the map, like when each player just has 2,000 and that's all they're going to get, the Terran army is going to come out on top.
Definitely. And it looks like Onemanzerg is actually getting a Greater Spire, perhaps trying to get Broodlords out, but I don't like this decision right now because he just doesn't have the economy to back this sort of tech.
He's going to cancel and go into Ultras. That's what he's going to do.
Well,
I know it's happening. It's going to happen. It's going to happen. Where is it? I need to see it finish.
And it just finished. I mean, it
just the Greater Spire just pops up in an Ultra cabin and appears.
I mean, I would say, oh wow, huge EMP. I would say that move would have been more reasonable if he had a few Corruptors out, but as it stands, he doesn't even have any Corruptors out right now.
Yeah.
He has no money, so how's he gonna make Corruptors and then make them into Broodlords? I think this is just kind of a panic move, or he's just in that panic mode. And he's like, I just need to get the strongest unit out that I can, and hopefully some miracle will happen.
Yeah, he's okay, it's like you're playing Terran versus Protoss. You're the Protoss. You're on 2 base. They have the entire map, and you're just like, I'll just get a mothership. It doesn't work like that.
Except
Broodlords
motherships
aren't just
aren't
a hero
good.
unit, Yeah, well, you get 2 Broodlords isn't really that much different than not having Broodlords at all.
Especially when you factor in the cost of those 2 Broodlords.
Yeah, I mean 2 Broodlords. Units in general, they work better the more you have, except for casters. Casters are the exception where just 1 is fine. But a Broodlord or a siege tank or something like that, just having 1 really doesn't change the scope of the battle that much. Good number of Marines getting picked off there by those roaches. They were intercepted.
Where is Onemanzerg getting this money right now from? Did I miss something?
He was able to get another base up. But,
Because, he's not mining from that gold base yet, but it looks like his economy is doing relatively well. It's looking fairly healthy right now.
If he holds off this push and he gets those Broodlords out, then, he really could. Actually, the Broodlords might be out before the push at this rate. If he starts morphing them right now, no, never mind. He's going for the gold. There's no drones at the gold yet, so this is actually probably working out better for Onemanzerg. 5 Broodlords on the way. Now with 5 Broodlords, now we're talking. 6 Broodlords, there we go. These are the kind of numbers of Broodlords that will cause some damage.
The other thing that also kind of worries me is that he doesn't have any. I actually don't know, but I want to say he doesn't have any air upgrades. So although these Broodlords are still very strong, they're a lot more fragile than you'd want them to be normally.
But here's something to look at. Look around Scvrush. Just like look around all his bases. He doesn't have a starport.
True.
Not even just one sitting around where he can, switch it.
Oh wow! And Onemanzerg just crushes this army.
Yeah, that is. He really just does a great job crushing that army.
And I mean, with his standing army, he can probably just head out and start killing bases.
That. 3 starports on the way. Now that's going to be 50 seconds before those finish. And then, if you're going to put reactors on them, 50 more seconds before Viking production even starts. He needs probably 10, 12, maybe even more Vikings to deal with this many Broodlords. Onemanzerg has a huge window here where he can push in and cause some damage to this expansion.
I really like this choice of leaving his Broodlords to kind of siege this base while trying to save that base. I mean, I think it was a lost cause trying to save that base, but it's still a pretty decent move. And wow, he's just going to get all these siege tanks for free now, too.
Yeah, this is looking actually very good for Onemanzerg right now. 3 Vikings being made at a time. The build time on a Viking is about, about 40 seconds? About 42 seconds, yeah. And like I said, if he,
and look
if he goes
at
up
that
to
bank
about 12
right now
Vikings,
for Onemanzerg.
Yeah, well, that's a lot of minerals. I would be building some extra hatcheries, just pumping out lings, but I mean, there's still quite a timing window here where Onemanzerg can pressure with these Broodlords with really no repercussions. I'd like to see him make some more Corruptors, though, because for every Corruptor he builds, that's basically an extra Viking Scvrush is going to have to build.
I'm sure right now Scvrush
+2 weapons is finally on the way for Scvrush. At the 38-minute mark, +2 weapons.
Bungle gets 2. 1, 2.
And, I mean, if some of these Vikings go down, resetting that Viking count, I mean, it's going to be a big deal. You need quite a few Vikings to deal with these Broodlords at a decent
And it
amount
looks
of
like
time.
Onemanzerg is going to go ahead and steal this base that's basically been mined out already by Scvrush.
Why not? I mean, he's got so much money that he's really just going to use the extra hatcheries for production anyway, so. Now, it looks like there's a bio switch kind of coming out from Scvrush. He's not making as many mech units now, making some bio.
I think he realized, trying to remax or, remake his army with mech would just take far too long.
Yeah, trying to remax with mech takes a long time, but, I mean, I don't know. I don't know if this, if this switch is really going to pay off.
Well, I think the gas was also a crutch for him, because he's trying to get those Vikings out.
I mean, 8 Marines coming out at a time. He didn't have very good upgrades on the Marines, though, so they're not going to do, too great of a job.
This is definitely looking like a comeback for Onemanzerg.
Yeah.
Scvrush has to be kicking himself, thinking, how did I...
The funny thing is, Onemanzerg is down on Harvesters right now. You don't see a Zerg who's down on Harvesters win games, but he might just win this one. I mean, he's doing a good job with the Broodlords, just kind of trying to keep them safe, yet still sieging with them. He needs to take he's actually losing that gold base, but he needs to make sure he has 4 guys mining at both of his extractors at the bottom base, but he needs to make sure he has all the extractors he can, and then just get more Broodlords, try to restock. He's making 64 Zerglings right now, which is a very good move. Just bring a lot of Zerglings.
But letting these Broodlords get picked off, that's... Oh, and huge bungle on all those SCVs.
Huge bungle. Oh, so many SCVs are going to go down.
Oh my god, Scvrush has 3 Harvesters.
3 harvesters. That's the kind of thing that you don't recover from. You know,
Yeah, 3
he's
harvesters
picking off
and no
2
mining
broodlords. Yeah, picking up 2 broodlords. Yeah, that's nice and all, but you have 3 harvesters and you can't land your orbital. Like that is a kill. That is a killing move there. Like that's not just harassment at that point. He is gonna kill that gold base. I don't think Onemanzerg really cares though.
Yeah, I mean,
I think Onemanzerg could actually just kind of attack, move, and kill him.
with his standing army, like, there's not much Scvrush can do versus this. Oh, but actually, Onemanzerg doesn't have any broodlords out right now, so
I don't know if it matters. I mean, look at this. Look at the supply difference, and he might even catch these unsieged.
oh
He does.
yeah, this is over.
There's no way. There's no way. That's GG.
Well,
and that tied up 2-2.
yes, we
So-
are now at 2-2, and I mean, hopefully, Onemanzerg will like